Hi, Ola here, founder and senior developer for Botsistant. So I just wanted to take you behind the scenes, of the video, campaign video, and just show you how NeXN works and how you can self-control NeXN or how it could track you, and just show you some of the nitty-gritty technical details that otherwise won't be in the clean campaign video. Yeah, so thank you for stopping by, and I hope this answers a few of your questions or some of your questions. So yeah, so let's get it. So right now it's I just there's some wires everywhere because this is how we test, and but it's functional. So here's NeXN, Botsistant, the prototype. So just to show you, there's going to be an app, and this right now is the dev version Android. So you go into the app, and as you can see, I have some buttons in there: move, F, that's move forward, move backwards, tilt, pair, everything. So the first thing you want to do is actually pair up with NeXN. So Bluetooth is on, and if I go into my Bluetooth settings, I can see I'm already paired, connected, so Botsistant is there. And so I just have to pair up and wait for a second. Still when it's connected, and so now I can actually do some testing, but first I gotta turn him on. Yeah, he's on, and so now we can ask to move forward. He will move forward, move backwards, he'll move backwards, tilt, which is that here, and if you can see, it's turning that way, and tilt the other way. Yeah, so right now we even do not have any sort of noise insulation or noise absorption. So when we have the finished version, it will even be more quieter, but you can hardly hear anything now, even with the status it's in. And yeah, so move forward again because I need it close to me. And so this is some of the autonomous. So as you know, it has different modes of ranges of motion, tilt, pan, and so on. So I just want to show you, like, the arm right now, you can sort of take it out of its place and it connects that, but we're also working to get final version where we can maybe make it tilt like that. So this may not be the final version, but it's just something for you to know. And so stick it back in there, and now we can try some of the testing, some of the pan for tilting. So this is how, so this basically is where you stick this in. This is a clamp, and I'm just gonna turn it off, the power supply off again quickly. And so yeah, so this is where you stick it. So you have the option to stick it in like this, which will give you portrait mode, or to stick it in like this, which will give you the landscape mode. Right, so so that you just clamp your phone in there, right, nice and easy. And then you go in and attach it. So right now, as you can see, it basically will fall because it's not on, and if you know how stepper motors work, you know why. So I'm already paired up with it, so I'm just gonna start the recording. So basically how it works is when it tries to track you, it's actually tracking the frames on the phone, right? So it's not tracking your camera or none of that, it's just tracking the frames on the phone. So if you go, that's why you can go use the camera of the app. You can go use Snapchat. You can go use different applications, because all it's doing is just screen recording basically, and then taking that and then analyzing the frames to figure out if there's a face there, if it's your face, and the Y direction of your face basically, or the X direction, or if you're smiling, the smile probabilities, all these things which I'll show you in a bit. So using that, it can sort of detect what it's tracking, and then it knows how to navigate. So I'm just gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna, because I want it to face me actually, so that I do a bit of tracking here, just quick. So yeah, I'm on the camera right now, and yeah, so it should try, because my face isn't centralized, it should try to move up a bit to come and track me. Or if I make it like this and my face is centralized now and I move up, it should try to track me. When I come down, it should try to come down again to track me. So we're just going to test that out. Power on, and so by the way, the wires at the back are just all things to power it up and all that stuff basically, just yeah, which won't be there obviously. So we start recording now. I don't know if you can see, this is start recording. So it asks you if you want to record, screen record, and yep, you're granted permission to screen record. And then I go back to the camera, and then I try to go a bit up. Hopefully it tracks me and moves to my position. Yeah, that was a bit slow. And then come down a bit, it should track me down, back down, and then a bit more. So yeah, it does track, and so always, sometimes the speed depends on how quickly your phone can process the images and all that. So it has a threshold, so if you're within that level of threshold, it will stay there, so it doesn't give you that G3 feel. If you're within that threshold, it will remain there. If you go above that threshold, then it will begin tracking you and stuff. So yeah, so that's how the tracking stuff. So I'm just gonna stop the recording now. So I also just want to show you what it sees, because so just give us some space. So I've made it a bit bigger so you can see, but yeah, these are some of the things it sees to track. Obviously you can see more, and you can track objects and different things. So that's the bounding box with your faces, and the rectangle your faces, and small probability, all those different things. And basically using all that, it's able to, as you can see, it's capturing images continuously, and using all that, it's able to determine the Y coordinates, the X coordinates, basically where your face is. So let's see. Yeah, it's able to determine where your face is. You can also look for contours, where your mouth, where your lips are, where your eyes are, probability of them being open, and different things to enable different modes of tracking. So yeah, so also we're probably gonna get like a remote in there. What working to get a remote, because if your phone is on here and you want to track, obviously you want to have a system or a way to access to be able to control the robot still. So it's just going to be a remote that sends the same control instructions to the robot, and the robot knows whether to move forward, move backwards, left, right, any of those things, or to perform a set a range of motion. Like you'll be able to use the app to say, okay, do this, program 1 does this, program 2 does that, and the remote to be able to trigger those programs basically. So the remote should be the easiest part of all that. Hi guys, so I just changed camera quickly to my other phone just to show you iOS and to show you another cool feature we have. So on iOS, it works similar to Android. You go into the screen recording and then you see Selfie, and this is the dev again, once again for iOS. And you do the stop broadcast and then start broadcasting, and you can do whatever you want, and it'll pan and do tilt and do all the movements you can usually do. So I also want to show you another cool feature. So we have this, and initially also we're thinking of maybe making it 2 screens, one eye, you know. Decide to make it such so that you can view basically what you're doing when you're using the back camera. You're able to view what you're doing. Also, by the way, we made the tires a bit wide to be able to traverse a lot of surfaces, and front tire is pretty wide but not that wide, but will get a bit wider also to be able to go through creases and all that. Yeah, so you can actually screen mirror. So you tap it there, and now you can see almost immediately it's there. So it's actually pretty cool. It's one of my favorite features, you know, everything. And even if you don't use this for, you know, tracking as you're meant to, as you're supposed to, I bet you could use it for, you know, watching whatever else you want to watch, or I don't know, be creative. So there, and you can just screen record. So now also it's in a position where it's able to access directly. It's able to access the frames rather than accessing your phone and let your phone do all the work, right? So it's able to access the frames and it's able to get that and do the panning and tracking and all that. So yeah, I just want to show you that for iOS. So we'll just kill the recording, and yeah. So finally, just to leave, thank you for being here and viewing with us, and seeing just behind the scenes to show that it's actually a real prototype and we didn't use CGI, and we actually do have the arm for, you know, there. You can screw that in, and it's actually a real product, and it actually does work and does track and can be controlled, and we are going to be improving on the software constantly, right? So you can say you track the face, then we're going to introduce the object tracking. We're going to introduce other forms also, you know, because with the panning as well, able to turn, you know, to a certain degree and able to track to. So really everything was designed to handle all these ranges of motion. So thank you for tuning in, and we can't just leave you like that without, you know, NeXN greeting you and thanking you also. So just a little eye animation to send you away. Okay. So thank you.